Let's do a stop practice. Stop whatever you are doing right now. Take a few breaths. Observe your experience in this moment. Then proceed mindfully into your next moments.
So, welcome to Sacred Space, and tonight we have our special episode, and it's
LAGLAGAN Nights! For tonight's LAGLAGAN Nights, we will be talking about failures on our New Year's resolutions. But before anything else, we would like to introduce our very special guest for tonight. She is none other than the director of the Sacred Space podcast, but she's also the co-creator of the Manto podcast, none other than Frances.
Hi everyone! Welcome to my channel.
parang may mali.
Welcome to the Sacred Space to me. My name is Frances. So normally I'm behind the scene. Now I'm in front of you. Hello.
So Frances, other than the podcast that you're doing, would you like to share a bit more of what you're doing outside the podcast world? Or kung ano yung pwede mong i-share at this point?
Outside the podcast world, siguro another podcast. Outside Sacred Space lang. So I'm doing the Manto podcast wherein we share Buddhism 101 for the youth, ganyan. And then I also do kwentuhan with masters. So we talk with Venerable and then talk about her life, how if we have like questions on Buddhism and their way of life. So we have that. And then I am a student of life.
Wow! Okay, alright. So, medyo exciting tong episode next kasi nga.
Yes, because we're wrapping up the year. The times that we're in this pandemic, I'm sure we're all looking forward to end this 2020 and look forward to the next year.
A fresh
yes.
next year.
But, ang tendency natin, pag papasok ang taon, ay magkaroon ng mga tinatawag natin New Year's resolutions. But here, we're actually talking about failures sa New Year's resolutions natin.
Nagkaroon ba kayo nun?
Have you ever iniisip ko uso pa ba yun?
Actually, yun yung funny doon kasi parang ang tagal-tagal na niyang ganyan, pero ang dami pa rin nagsasabi
na New Year's
resolutions.
Pero before we do that, nagka-New Year's resolution ba kayo? Nasunod niyo ba yun?
Well, for me, in my younger years,
Wow.
yes.
Grabe ka, hindi ka naman old.
Well, I still have younger years. Well, yun yung funny doon sa mga New Year's resolutions kasi parang i-resolve mo siyang gawin.
Oo.
And then, at some point, pagkatapos mo siyang isulat, either kakalimutan mo na siya or nakalimutan mo na siya kasi dami mo na kailangan ibang gawin. Or kakaririn mo siya, tapos in the middle, parang ba't kumato ginagawa? Yung mga ganong tipo.
Or mga New Year's resolution.
Pero ang maganda doon, in the middle. What if hindi mo na-start? Plan mo lang doon.
Well, yeah, tama. Ganun ba nangyari sa'yo, Francis?
Medyo ganon. Parang in-start ko siya middle of the year. Parang sure akong may middle of the year.
Sample, ano yun?
I started swimming again. So yung swimming sabi ko, 2 years ago sabi ko, magsiswimming na ako. So I started it sa July. Bagyo, ang lamig-lamig. So na-start ko siya mga 3 weeks, 2 weeks. After that, sabi ko, oh my gosh, ang lamig. Parang hindi naman to okay na New Year's resolution. So, hindi ko siya ulit natapos. Kumbaga nasimulan ko lang siya, hindi ako nakaabot sa middle. Ganon.
Ako naman natupad yung New Year's resolution ko. Yung New Year's resolution ko kasi, fitness. Totoo nga, naging fit lahat ng damit ko ngayon. Naging fit na fit.
Ako, actually, sobrang matagal na yung meron akong New Year's resolution. Siguro mga high school pa nga yata siya eh. Kasi, pandang college, hindi na ako masyado nangangarili ng New Year's resolutions. And then after college, parang iba na talaga yung perspective ko about it. Like, yung iba na yung practice na ginagawa ko. Pero, ano bang mga, siguro kung may mga specific, lagi namang ang New Year's resolution ay may kinalaman sa diet.
Totoo.
Diba? Lagi yan nasa listahan. Ano yung mga top, diba? So, yung diet, almost always yung failed. Or, ito yung diet, tapos makarir mo siya, tapos mawala siya ulit.
Baka naman kasi diet, you eat more. That's the diet.
Exactly. Saka yun na nga, even yung idea ng diet, di ba, napaka-pasay na ng idea na yun actually nowadays, di ba? So, yung idea na diet na yun in the past, na yung you're starving yourself, kailangan a certain body size, whatever, ganun yung nangyayari. And then yung iba pa yung saving up, forever ko tong New Year's resolutions.
Gosh,
Tapos pag end of the year, oh my God, hindi ko nagawa. Next year. Yung ganun, di ba?
Better luck.
Better luck. So, failed ako pagdating sa ganyan.
Sa savings.
So,
Parang hirap din naman kasi yun. Natutokso ka sa mga bilihin.
Pero at first, bakit ba natin ginagawa yung New Year's resolution? Ano bang pinagmulan nito? Kasi ako narinig ko lang to sa mga kaibigan ko. Sabi na mag-New Year's resolutions tayo, ganyan. BFFs, ganyan. Pero sa inyo, ano yung drive kung bakit kayo, simulan natin doon, kung bakit tayo nagkakaroon ng New Year's resolution? For me, it's like a guide. Yun yung unang na-inculcate sa akin na parang guide mo siya for the year kasi nga looking forward ka. So yun yung sinabi.
Sa akin actually, parang if I remember, parang forever ko lang siyang na-experience as a trend. Yung parang everybody's kasi doing, okay, may New Year's resolution, and then may gaya ka lang sa New Year's resolution. Ano nga ba yung sa'yo? Parang ganun ko siya na-experience. Hindi ko siya parang yung kinukwento mo na dapat ito kasi, guide siya for me. Hindi ko siya na-experience na ganun.
Sa akin, wala, kasi sila New Year's resolution. Like, they ask on TV, what's your New Year's resolution? So ako, at the beginning, New Year's resolution ko, hindi na magkaroon ng New Year's resolution.
Ano naman yun?
Tapos masyadong specific pala dapat. And then I learned, this time I learn new hobby, go back to sports, learn new language, never the diet, never the savings, ganyan. So, for me, at the beginning, kung ano lang yung gusto kong gawin for that year, yun lang yung pinupush ko. Pero wala naman akong certain standard na dapat umabot ng ganito, dapat umabot ng ganyan, as long as I started it.
For some kasi Nex and Francis, they feel like having or setting New Year's resolution is something of comfort. Parang comfortable sila dun sa fact na they have something to look forward to for the next year. Actually, meron akong mga kakilalang ganun. They can't live without New Year's resolutions. And maybe that works for them, diba?
Pero hindi ba pag you make a New Year's resolution, parang you're looking at your failures again?
That's
Kasi more or less, mayroon ka ng dependent ka na dun sa history mo na you failed on having to materialize yung New Year's resolution, and then gumawa ka na naman for this year, parang another failure for yourself.
That's an interesting perspective. Actually, parang parang mo yung sinasabi na vicious cycle siya. Now, first, we don't even know why we're doing it. We go into it. And then the second, pagpasok mo pa lang ng taon, ano ba yung hindi ko nagawa? So, gagawin ko siya. So, failure agad yung pinanggalingan niya. And then yung pangatlo, meron ka agad sinaset na bar of expectations for yourself na coming in from the past, alam mo hindi mo masyadong nagagawa talaga.
Exactly.
So, talagang para siyang vicious cycle lang na pattern na gusto mong patuloy na gawin. And then parang, so here we are actually celebrating yung failures of New Year's resolutions because it's the failure that's letting us know why are we even doing it and what's the next step after realizing this failure.
Correct.
You know what's the trick? Naisip ko lang. You started it December, yung New Year's resolution.
Wag na next.
Para the next year. Meron ka na start ko to.
Nasa middle na next year. Nakakatawa yun. Ako naman, actually, yung mini-mention ko kanina, pero baka siguro mas i-share ko siya more elaborately after nung break natin. No? Pero I've really looked at my life in such a way na parang kung nakita ko na ganun nga siya, na hindi siya effective for me, then why would I even continue doing it, diba? So I found something that's more effective for me, and which I'll share later after the break. Pero siguro yung isa pang tanong rin natin is even ito kasing laglagan nights natin, di ba? Parang ito yung celebrating failures natin. So let's really get into more of that failure and ano yung feeling natin sa failure na yun. And what are we taking away from that failure para bago tayo pumunta sa mga possible strategies or what could be more effective.
Oh my gosh, siguro yung New Year's resolution I've always failed at is yun nga, magpapayat. Bakit ko ba yun naisip? Pero later on, ngayon, in this life, tinanggap ko na. Parang I felt so bad for so many years not being able to achieve that one New Year's resolution. That I've beat myself up to it. I tried dangerous diets. So, nagkaroon siya ng negative effect sa akin. And just the mere fact that I felt bad because I didn't achieve that, parang na-feel ko na hindi ko pala tanggap yung sarili ko, no? Yun pala yung realization ko doon. Hindi ko tinanggap na, maybe I'm built this way. Parang ganon. I just need to eat healthier. Parang choose healthier routines. But doesn't necessarily translate to the body that I desire. Kasi, yun nga, after so many years, sobrang pahirap nung ginawa sa akin emotionally, physically, mentally. That I felt like I'm not enough. So, instead of succeeding, yung nilook forward ko sa isang New Year's resolution na yun, it actually deteriorated me, my self-confidence and whatnot. And that really took a toll siguro last year. That I really didn't even want to go out. So I feel like if it's something that's not making me feel good, then I should just stop and accept it. And once you arrive on that parang phase na you welcome the changes that you have, because as we mature, iba naman nagiging body structure eh.
Yeah.
You welcome the changes that you have, you accept it. I just felt a little bit more at ease. And I stopped doing that resolution. My resolution would be eat in moderation. Diba? It's about choices talaga siya yan. Yeah, that's for me.
Actually, what's the mahirap na part doon?
Teka lang, Francis, gusto ko lang sabihin, ang profound. Ang profound.
Consistency yung mahirap sa eat moderately eh. Ako hindi ko naman yung naging New Year's resolution. Staying fit. It's always read more books. Which is, I had to. Ganun lang. Tapos, hindi ko naman pinapressure yung sarili ko to always follow my New Year's resolution. Siguro hindi naman siya failure, pero I'd say na medyo struggle for me kasi I wanted to start a podcast even last year. Pero I never had really the opportunity and the condition na to start it. Nandiyan yung ideas, you have it in mind, may naisip ka ng mga topics and stuff like that. Pero yung time, if you find time, you will not find time. So I had to create time. And then this pandemic, siguro, it helped me to create that time to how I'll budget my commitments to other stuff and to school, to work, and the passion projects. And then now I'm just happy that it's not actually a failure, but it's just a delay. Ganun. I treat it like that.
Yeah. Well, sa akin siguro kasi nga nabanggit ko parang it's more of my younger years. Siguro mas kung meron man ako naalala, it's this comparing myself like to other people talaga.
Okay.
Especially yung definition ng success. See, it has always been my struggle that I think differently. I want, parang iba yung gusto ko compared sa peers. Iba yung nakita kong, kumbaga kung may measuring stick yung society o yung kultura, iba yung sa akin. Kasi I don't find satisfaction in the things that people seem to have satisfaction with, no? So like for example, yung idea ng this neat little family and marriage and all that. And then this employment of, yung itsura ng employment na yung sweldo na dapat ganito at yung sweldo na dapat 8 to 5, yung everything. That's
Sobrang structured.
Sobrang structured. So yun, so parang it's just it's a reminder. Well, nung una para talaga siyang it was really difficult kasi nga I was there in that moment, no? Pero parang it came to a point that I realized that maybe the lesson is not to fit myself in the mold. Because maybe I'm not of a mold of a certain thing, diba? But this is just me. So parang when I realized that, and it goes beyond the New Year's resolution, but it just really reminds you, now why am I even doing this? Why am I even trying to put myself to fit into something when, bata pa lang ako, it's always been this question of bakit ganyan ka? Bakit ka weird? Bakit ka... Lahat na lang ng bagay nasabi ng mga tao tungkol sa akin, diba?
Bakit ka normal?
Exactly. So yun. So parang sa akin, maybe I'm weird and unique because there's something that I'm being asked to create.
Okay.
That's not the usual. Parang ganon. So, when I accepted that, and then everything else, nabanggit ko nga, I've even thrown away the idea of a New Year's resolution along with it. Parang hindi ko yun kailangan kasi nga, I'm actually asking to tread a certain path. Parang ganon. And then yun yung pinafollow ko.
Yeah, okay. So, but later on, we'll talk about how we parang diverted from New Year's resolution and think of a better way to look forward. How do we look forward to the next year?
Yeah, and what could be a good frame of mind coming into 2021 after 2020,
right? Oo. Parang gusto na lang nating matulog pagising natin 2021. But how do we prepare for that?
Ayoko pang matulog. Na-enjoy ko pa yung 2020.
At saka, we still have to say cheers!
Cheers to our failed
and to
resolutions.
And to the coming New Year. Alright.
To get updated in our latest episodes, you may follow The Sacred Space by Conscious Heart Creations in Spotify, Google Podcast, and other podcast channels.
Follow Conscious Heart Creations in Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. We also invite you to be part of our Healing and Empowerment Community Facebook group and send us an email if you want to join our Emergent Theater PH activities.
You can find all the links to our social media accounts and email address on the description box.
Welcome back to my channel!
Welcome back to the second phase.
Yes, welcome back to Sacred Space. Baka lang makalimutan nyo kasi nga akalain natin ito ay channel ni Frances. So,
ako ulit to si Krizel.
And I'm Nex, and we're back, and we're talking about what do we actually do and how do we look forward to the new year without having to go through what we call the New Year's resolution, no? So, I'd like to start. As I was mentioning kanina, I chose a different way to approach the year and the new year. So, what happens is, I consider yung the Christmas season, the holiday season, a time for myself, a time in. So, what I call, some people know this naman, yung you really devote the time to reflect, to introspect, no? About yourself, about your life. So, ganun ang nangyari sa akin. And in fact, it becomes kind of like a ritual for me. Starting on the 24th of December, until around January 3 or 4, parang time in ko lang siya talaga na and when everyone's like celebrating everything, ako it's more about going totally inward sa sarili ko. So, and then every night I'd light a candle and I just kind of reflect on the year, what it was like, and then I'd write something about it. Nag-journal ako, or even just to quietly sit and then reflect on what happened in the year. And then kind of what I call empty myself. Parang let everything go. Na parang kung yun yung nangyari, alin doon sa mga nangyari, yung part of what I see as my big picture, what I see as, what I want to continue moving forward.
Right.
And what are the things that I've learned, what are the things that I will have to kind of see them as just part of my experience, parang ganun. And then after that letting go phase is continuing asking myself, so what do I really want? And ano yung mga gusto kong i-welcome in terms of ideas and thoughts and images of my life, no? And completely letting go kung paano siya magaganap.
Okay.
And just really believing on those ideas. So halimbawa, I just like for example, meron akong list of like 5 things talaga that are very very specific, you know, in terms of kung if I write them down in my journal, para siyang an image of really what would make me happy. You know, what would really be that passionate joy. And it's almost always related to work. I really like yung purposeful work eh. So, yung nabanggit ko before, yung Conscious Heart Creations, when it got started, parang it was just an idea. And then I kept at it. Lagi kong tinatanong anong next na forma niya, anong kailangan niya, anong laging ganon. At the same time, yung emergent theater, ganon din. And then I allow things to unfold. So that kind of process, I've actually put it dun sa perspective ko ng end of the year and coming new year. So, nandun yung image, nandun yung, and then I'll allow it to happen. And then, isusulat ko siya. Kung may change, titingnan ko yung dati kung parang naisulat, totoo pa ba siya sa akin. Interestingly, pag nag-reflect ako, may nagawa ko siya.
Okay.
Na parang hindi mo siya in-expect, pero yun yung nangyari in a different way. Or little things. Hindi siya yung grand. Kasi usually yung sinusulat ko mga grand visions siya or mga wishes talaga siya in dreams. Pero kung baga, ay, may na-plan pala ako.
Okay.
So parang, ay, gusto ko pa ba to? Okay na ba ako dito? And then I'd really look at it and feel it. And parang, hindi pa to yata tapos. Parang gano'n. So I'll just keep at it. Kung may pakinamdam akong madagdag, or I'll totally leave the rest. What could be? Ano kaya yung mga unknowns? I'm actually looking forward to the unknowns.
A lot of people also felt that they cannot really put a word on it last year. Kasi ako, alam ko yung busyness ng 2020, at least on the professional side. But I never saw my personal life for 2020 last year. Na parang, this is all not gonna happen anyway. So, with that kind of perspective, I learned to like take everything daily. Parang being present at the moment. I kind of let go of the idea of a New Year's resolution matagal na. Kasi every year, to me, it feels like every year, iba yung challenges eh. Minsan nga mas challenging eh. Kaya kinakabahan ako sa 2021.
Kasi,
feeling ko mas challenging. Mas marami, totoo yun, mas maraming ina-ask for you. Kasi syempre, you're in a different age na, alam mo yun, every year naman you mature.
Ako? Ito ba ito?
Age na.
Bumanon.
Tumalon eh. Parang tumalon na pataas.
Different age na. Hindi, I didn't think anything by that.
Ageism.
Ageism. New term. Baka may nag-coin na. Yeah, pero yun yung looking forward to the next year. I've never believed in any resolutions anymore. It's about taking one step at a time and being present wherever you are, whatever is happening. Kasi parang every day has a lesson naman. And that would accumulate at the end of the year. Hindi mo man yan maalala buong buo, but you will see highlights, snippets. And siguro kung ano yung pick and choose, kung ano yung gusto mo i-continue, continue. Kung ano yung gusto mo hindi na i-continue, discontinue. It's easy as that. But I think the most important thing for me right now, given na nangyari sa 2020, is really to take everything in one step at a time and being present in every moment. Kasi you never know kailan yung moment na yun sa snatch. Or, you know, seizing the opportunity as they come. Wala na ako dun sa ang dami kong iniisip na layers ng ito ba? Wala na eh. It's all about, being present. Yun na yung perspective ko, looking forward to the next year. But in 2021, I'm having mixed feelings.
Sabi ng 2021, may mixed feelings na siya sa'yo.
Oh, the feeling is mutual.
The feeling is mutual.
Perfect.
And beneficial.
Yeah, but we can only hope, we can only hope so much for the next year. Yun, ang important lang is that you live your life to the fullest.
Yeah.
Diba? Kasi you never know when you're going to get that another chance. Yun yung lesson for this year. So yun yung iti-take on ko for the next year. But cheers to the failed resolutions. Ayoko na yun.
Cheers,
Water yan. Yun. So that's a very brief sharing. I guess we mature in some ways, but I'm really excited for my new self for 2021.
Yeah, I agree na wala ka ng New Year's resolution. Pansin ko naman.
Laglagan nga!
Kami na kinanggugot ng tawa ko doon.
Grabe yun hindi kinaya.
Oo, pero walang judgment yun.
Wala naman.
So,
Well, wala naman din ako ng New Year's resolution. What I do
Pansin ko
is...
din.
Thank you. Meron akong parang monthly vision board. Pero hindi nag-exist yung board. Parang, andyan lang siya. Right in front of me. Parang monthly, I want to do something different from last month. Kasi nga, I have a habit na hindi ko maalala yung nangyari. Like last year, I don't know what happened. What did I learn last year? Wala akong ganun.
last year?
Last year was 2019! Yun lang! So every month, I have to make sure na meron akong ginagawang different. Kasi yung different na yun lang yung naaalala ko. So, di ba, every month, no matter how a failure it is or how successful it is, I remember the events but not the dates. So I made it up to a point na I'll make a vision board pero monthly na siya. Hindi siya yung for the whole year kasi I fail on remembering the things that I could have learned or yun. Yeah.
Kaya pala niya tinapon yung New Year's resolution. Kasi monthly resolution.
Nakalita!
At mas madali pala yun sa kanya.
Oo. So,
Short-term goals.
If that works for you, then why
Yeah.
not? Diba?
Yeah.
That's another interesting diba, strategy to it. I mean, and then again, siguro yun yung isang gusto nating sabihin Find what works for you.
Yes.
You know, find what works for you that inspires you versus puts pressure on you. The kind of pressure that's not really for you, but for other people. Yung, alam mo yun, yung pressure na sabihin na nakatulad ka ng ibang tao.
Oo naman.
Dahil lahat ng tao ay successful, dahil lahat ng tao ay ganito, ganyan, etc. Diba?
Definitely. Lalo na yung mga friends nyo na nagiging lawyers or naglo-law school pero hindi naman para sa kanila. Sinabi lang na, uy, ikaw yung parang kapangalan mo yung tita mo na naging lawyer. So yung pressure mo gano'n. So dapat hindi gano'n.
Ganun ba sila sa'yo? Nagtag na naman.
Laglagan na Laglagan nga to
Hindi ka naman namin pala i-guess next time. Ako yung nadadali.
Ikaw yung laglag na laglag.
Ako nga Lalaglag ko si Mary.
Sino yun? Ang kulit.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Feeling ko yung lesson is whatever works for you, do it. And huwag nyo nang ipilit masyado. Parang mahirap kapag hindi. Let things flow naturally. That's the essence of flow.
Yeah, yung isa, I think yung isang gusto kong balikan yung what 2020s might be asking of us, and I think yung sinasabi mo na parang we have to actually learn what we call equanimity.
Oh, yeah.
So meaning equanimity and being with uncertainty and ambiguity. Yan yung I think the gift for me. I think that's the gift of 2020 na parang na sobrang far removed from the idea of a New Year's resolution.
Yeah.
Diba, the New Year's resolution is almost like this thing that you want to set in stone. Checklist, bucket list, and everything else. And what we're actually learning from 2020, if pag nag-fail lahat ng yon, hindi ibig sabihin nag-fail ka. But instead, ibig sabihin nandyan ka, and in fact, okay ka. And kahit maglako lahat ng plans, maglakot lahat ng whatever, and we can actually swim with the wave, the tide, learn to be there versus malulunod.
Yeah.
Malulunod, what happened to 2020 is na wala lahat ng kailangan mong gawin. Ba't ka malulunod na wala nga lahat ng kailangan mong gawin? And in fact, di ba, parang it's a reminder that maybe you just have to breathe and just be present with what's happening with your life, with your family, kung nasaan ka man, di ba?
Definitely, no? Yung part na wala lahat yung gusto mong gawin, but napalitan niyo ng mga bago na you never knew existed and you never knew na kaya mo palang gawin. Diba?
Exactly.
Ang daming nagiging plantito, plantita, ang daming immediately nagiging chef.
Yes.
And these are the things that they couldn't do last year because of the hectic schedule.
Yeah.
And now they were given a break from all of it. They were able to do it. So finding new skills. So really, it's not a failure. I don't see it as a failure. It's really discovering new things.
Just be like flexible and open to all the possibilities. Kasi right now, di ba, iba-iba yung plans natin for December sana.
Yeah.
Go here, go there, or for New Year, travel to this place, to that place, and then hindi siya natuloy. So just be open and try different things. Look in different perspectives.
Yeah. And we hope that the new year brings whatever it is that will give your life joy, peace, and fulfillment and purpose. Yeah?
Alright. So, that's it for 2020. We're wrapping it up with this episode of LAGLAGAN Nights. And this has been your host, Krizel.
And next, with our guest,
Francis!
Thank you and keep listening to Sacred Space. Follow us on our social media. Bye!
bye!